Dude, let me tell you, the ancestors would not let me sleep last night. I mean, well, actually, you know I'm asleep. I'm lying. You know the ancestors let me sleep, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here in this hotel, man. They got these little robes and shit. I'm up here feeling so good right now. I'm sitting up here. I'm gonna have to murder this robe after I leave. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's I'm pampered right now, so I gotta murder this robe after I leave, right? Because it knows too much. You understand what I'm saying? Family, it's like, yo, I'm here. Still in Washington D.C. I got another day of workshops. I can't wait to get up here and see what other new information I could bring back, what other confirmations or what new insight I could bring. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming, right? But family, I'm telling y'all right now, like and share, because once again, just like last night, I'm about to go. I'm listen. I set the ancestors loose out here in Alexandria, Virginia. They done rolled over into. You know how our ancestors get. They got rowdy and they went over to Washington D.C. and start fucking with Washington and Lincoln and and they came back on me last night with with a vengeance, right? See, because the thoughts that rolled on me last night was just and I couldn't wait to get into it, family. I'm trying to tell you, listen, this show today is gonna be a changer. Because let me explain what happened to me last night. I don't know if you have ever been in a situation where, shouts out to Mr. Navita Nelson, I see you out there, where you didn't know something was wrong with you, right? You have been dealing with it for so long. You have been dealing with it for so long that you thought it was normal. Like when I got my glasses, right? Say my eyesight had deteriorated over so subtly over such a long period of time that I didn't notice the difference until the man came and put the lenses on my eyes. He measured my eyes and did what he's supposed to do, and he put the lenses on my eyes. And it was like I was seeing through a new set of eyes. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time I went to this place and because I get wax filled up and the doctor sent me to a place where I get my ears cleaned. I went to the place and they cleaned my ears and they showed me all the wax and shit that came out my ears. I got out, I walked outside and the world sounded different. And this is what happened to me last night. This is what happened to me last night, and it's so simple and it's so subtle. But before we get into that, we got to go on and do our stuff, do our little introduction. We got to do our songs. I got to pull up some stuff up off the internet. I'm not playing. Like and share. Let's get some folks up in here. All right, because I'm trying to listen, family. Listen, I'm just like, I just can't. I'm so excited right now. I don't even know what to do. I'm so excited right now. I don't even know what to do because the whole piece for me, the whole piece for me right now is that I have some clarity, some clarity, and I'm sitting up here like I'm hyped because for a long time I've been operating in the movement without some clarity, but last night it kind of hit me. It kind of hit me, and it hit me with the principles, right? So we got a couple things we got to cover. So I'm gonna make it quick because I know Miss CeeLo got to get ready. We about to the woods is coming. I'm hyped about that. I'm hyped about coming out there and meeting y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm hyped about the whole situation. I'm hyped about the weekend coming up. I'm hyped about Ujima. I'm hyped about Nia. I'm hyped about Kuumba. I'm hyped about Imani. I'm hyped, right? I'm coming. I'm still on my fast. I've been hanging in there. I've been out here watching people eat all day long, sipping on juice, right? you know what I'm saying, sipping on coffee, getting some tea, right, and sitting up here, like all this free food is around me, and I'm like, oh man, I am truly blessed. Maybe I did it at the wrong time. Like, nah, dog. Nah, there's a reason for everything. Hang in there, brother Hatim. Hang in there, right? So, let's get it. First off, I need to let you know you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. What anime? You was uncomfortable in the suitcase, so now you complaining? Oh, God damn. I mean, mystic animal. Shit. Man, like I just thought, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Y'all ready? Wait. So, of course, you know this is Daily Toast. It's a Heart of a Simple production. Some of you kind of paused on me. I'm like, what the, you know? Will we strive to blow up your old paradigm? Explosion on point. Explosion on point. Y'all know what's up. Grab your water. Get your health drink. Let's go.
Drink some
water. The sun coming up. Lift your glass and drink some water. Lift your glass. Health is the new wealth, y'all. Come on now. We gotta get our health drinks on, right? Get that water. Get your water. Get your water. Take your breath. Move your body. Eat your food. Culturally appropriate, of course. Here we go, family. Drink, 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 drink. Great Ujima, family. Great Ujima. Before I jump into my tirade, because I definitely got a tirade this morning, family. Because listen, the ancestors would not let me sleep. They woke me up. My fault. I'm gonna get my sleep, but they woke me up. I was like, damn, what's going on? What's going on? Write this down. Polarity. What? Polarity. Vibration. What? Pro. What? Con. What? The fuck? I'm trying to sleep. What? I'm trying to sleep. What's going on, man? We got a show in a minute. What? Write it down. So I got up. I was obedient. Wrote it down. Then I look on the next page. It's some other stuff too. And I'm sitting up here like, damn, okay, all right, cool. Listen, family, when you start toasting the ancestors, when we start doing it, we got to expect for the communications to happen. We're not just playing. This is not a game. You know what I'm saying? This is not a game. You know what I'm saying? All games are out the window. All of it is thrown out the window once we start calling on these ancestors and we start calling their names. Because it's like, yo, we got it. We got some information for you, right? It's sort of like being a reporter, right? All I gotta do is report the news. That's it. All right, so here we go. So I'm laying in bed, and so the first law that came to me was polarity. I'm not gonna go into that right now, but today we on Ujima, and those who don't speak the language. Today is collective worker responsibility. All right. The modern principle is righteousness. The principle we teach the young people is respect. The color is blue. The law of the day is vibration. So that's one of the reasons that this law came to me as well. And if you was born on this day and you were male, you are Kwaku. If you're a female, you're a Kua. All right. What they got to do with today? Activate the reticular formations. We are looking for collective work and responsibility. Throwing that out there. All right. So tomorrow, the law is polarity. I'm going to get into what they got to do with tomorrow, right? But before we get into that, I wanted to share with y'all from the USA Today. I was walking through the lobby of the hotel, and they had an article. It says, church struggle with how to confront racism. Church struggles with how to deal with racism, and this is what I was planning to hit on. I was going to read a little bit of this article, but after the ancestors came to me, I'll say that for another day. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here like, yo, I'm listening. I'm being humble. All right, so now, family, let me give it to you. I gotta give me some more water. I'm so excited. Hold on. I gotta give me some more water. Drink your water, family. Hydrate. I'm thinking maybe ketosis finally kicked in or some shit, cause I'm wired up. All right, so now before we get into the total discussion, let me be all the way transparent with you. Let's look at the law of vibration. All right, we got the law of vibration begins with thought. The 7 hermetic laws and why you need them. Check it out, family. Just bear with me. And if you got to go, this is going to be up on Gye-Nyame Journey. Either you can get it on Spreaker, you get it on Facebook, you get it on YouTube right now while I'm still recording on YouTube, because I'm thinking about taking YouTube the whole YouTube platform off. You know what I'm saying? But that's something I deal with on a regular basis. So now the first thing they talk about is the seven hermetic laws and why you need them. Now, for those that don't know, seven hermetic laws are supposedly laws that was laid down by the deity Tahuti. In Rome, I think either it's Rome or Greece. In Greece it was Mercury. In Rome it was Hermes. No, in Greece it was Hermes. In Rome it was Mercury. All right. So Hermes is Tahuti, right? And these are some laws that supposedly Tahuti left for the world, right? We use them because I mean, there's some questions about who created this and stuff like that. But it's still we still able to use it because we bring some wisdom off of it, right? So here we go. Seven Hermetic laws and why you need them. Seven great Hermetic principles are crucial not only for understanding alchemy, but for understanding life and the way the universe and the way of the universe itself. Now, when we talk about alchemy, far as us family, we need to understand alchemy is transforming one thing into another. We're not talking about just the whole transforming lead to gold. We're talking about transforming you from one state to another. We're talking about transforming, like for example, those of you who have embraced the fermenting or the brewing, you are involved in the alchemical process, right? Because you're taking one substance and you're transforming it into another. So what you're practicing right now is alchemy. You're transforming one thing into another thing. That's all it is. That's all it is, right? From a thing that's useful on a lower level to a thing that's higher that's useful on a higher level, or vice versa. All right. Nowadays, a lot of people we know um, 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 uh, do alchemy backwards. They transform something valuable and they debase it. All right. But hold on, that's a whole nother. That's a whole shit. That's a whole nother. That's a class. Um, these are the universal laws that govern reality in a greater sense, spirituality. Just as the laws of physics govern the physical sense, these laws were presented to humanity by a great teacher, Hermes Thoth Tahuti. Hence, they are called the Hermetic laws. Okay, here we go. But they are are as old as reality itself. As children of God or Source, these laws are our birthright to know, understand, and use to create our own realities. Now, come on, let's go on. Let's get into the law of vibration. Just making a real sense. The law of vibration is among my favorite of the Hermetic laws. This I am reading this from Exemplar. I'm sorry, I need to cite that source before Exemplar. The law of vibration is among my favorite of Hermetic laws. While many people have a hard time understanding it, its reality is really quite simple. Everything vibrates. You, the chair you're sitting in, your house, your cat, the planet, everything in the universe is in motion, and everything that vibrates has a frequency. Everything with a frequency has an effect. We'll get to that later on in the law of cause and effect now. Keep that in mind because we're about to get into this discussion. If this sounds like new age hogwash to you, there is actually a very scientific basis for the law of vibration. All matter is composed of molecules. Oh, keep we're gonna keep Brother Kwame and Sister Charlotte in our thoughts today. All right. All molecules are composed of atoms, and all atoms are composed of subatomic particles. Within an atom, there's a proton and a neutron that makes up the nucleus, and outside of that, that is at least one electron moving in an elliptical pattern around the nucleus. Now, it don't necessarily work like that. That's still the planetary type shit that they have instilled on us. It don't necessarily work like that. Hold on. This movement is constant and the source of vibration in all things, no matter how large or how small. All material is made up of the same building blocks. The compactness of the atoms is what determines whether something takes on a solid shape, but everything from rock and crystal to water has vibration. Everything, basically, what this states is everything has a vibration. In that vibration, it creates a frequency. Now, the frequency allows you to be able to distinguish the difference between things. Like colors are just different frequencies, levels of sounds are different frequencies, and you're able to distinguish, you know what I'm saying, different frequencies from other frequencies, which makes things, which gives you a sense of difference. We all vibrate. We all vibrate at different rates. We all are a combination of vibrations. And the key fact is to remember that vibrations happen and vibration cause effects. Just hold on to that for a second. Now let's move to the next one. Because now let's move to polarity. Now, watch this. So we talked about everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pairs of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. That's from the Kabbalion, which is the book that we get these principles out of. I'm reading from the Kabbalion resource page. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to my sister Terry Hassa. I'm going to get her write up on these. But I needed this for this morning so that, we could start covering it from our perspective, because Sister Terry Hassa did a nice little piece on the Hermetic laws. The great fourth Hermetic principle, the principle of polarity, embodies the truth that all manifested things have two sides, two aspects, two poles, a pair of opposites, with manifold degrees between the two extremes. The old paradoxes which have ever perplexed the mind of men are explained by understanding of this principle. Man has always recognized something akin to this principle and has endeavored to express it by such sayings, maxims, and aphorisms as following. Everything is and isn't at the same time. All truths are but half truths. Every truth is half false. There are two sides to everything. There's a reverse side to every shield, etc. The Hermetic teachings are to the effect that the difference between things seemingly diametrically opposed to each other is merely a matter of degree. It teaches that the pair of opposites may be reconciled, and that thesis and antithesis are identical in nature but different in degree, and that the universal reconciliation of opposites is affected by the recognition of the principles of polarity. So basically, polarity sets up that there's two sides to everything. So you got a coin, you got the head, you got the tails. It's the same coin, but on one side you got one vibration, on the other side we got another vibration going on, right? So we got two things that are, in a sense, opposite of each other, but they need each other to exist. If one extreme stopped existing, then the whole goddamn thing stopped existing. I want you to understand, right? So if a certain vibration stopped, then another vibration stopped, because they're on a continuum line, for lack of a better description, on a continuous continuum, and they need each other to exist. Now, what does that have to do with what the ancestors was talking with me about, family? Now, I'm glad you asked. Now, check this out. So, I'm sitting up here, I woke up late, and I'm sitting up here like, the ancestors poking me, and it's like law of polarity, pro and con, for and against, opposites, right? What's the power of opposites? Opposites come together and create. On the physical level, you need a masculine energy, two opposites, a masculine and feminine, that come together and reconcile differences. They don't necessarily have to be arguments, but they're different, and they come together and they're able to meet and reconcile differences. And in between, in the sense that space, that difference, in that space, in that difference, a physical life is created. You have two different ideas that come together. When you got two people, you got two different ideas conflicting within the mind that come together, and they're opposites. And when they collide and when they come together in a proper fashion, a new idea emerges. Birth happens because of two polarities. Family, you know what I'm saying? We are confused because we want to exist in the middle of the polarity. We don't want to rock the boat. We want everybody to feel comfortable around us, and we discussed this, but I'm gonna go a little bit farther, right? Because the call to me was like boom, because I was sitting up here, I said, damn, I'm at this hotel. I wonder what this hotel stance is on reparations. I said, damn, I wonder if they pro or con pro or con. I wonder if they pro or con reparations. Hmm. This road, the people that made this road, because they did an ad for the road. I wonder if the people who put this road together, are they pro or con reparation? Let me be clear. When I'm speaking about reparation, I'm not talking about reparations for the poor. I'm not talking about reparations for people of color. I'm not talking about reparations for the LGBT community. I'm talking about, I'm talking about reparations for Africans that are descendants of those who were enslaved or descendants of slaves. However you feel comfortable saying it. See, because I want to be very clear. And the water that I'm drinking, I wonder if they pro or con reparations. See, this is the lens that the ancestors gave me to start seeing. I wonder if the politicians that come up out of the community that I exist in, you know what I'm saying, that represent the area that I live in, I wonder if they're pro or con reparations. I wonder if the next person that's going to be running for president is pro or con reparations. This gives me a very clear sight, right, of who's for me, who's against me, who's on my side. See, because now I'm thinking about, like, because the newsletter came up last night, and I'm thinking about it. What angle can we take with this newsletter? Because I could have rushed into it, and some of the family would have been with me. Let's do this shit. But I'm like, boom. Why don't we identify those institutions that are pro reparations? Let's identify those brands that are pro reparations. Let's identify those politicians that are pro reparations. Why? Because this let us know where they stand. Right? This let us know where they stand. Now, one of the things that I am looking at this point in time is like, damn, this whole world. I'm looking at the hotel I'm staying in. I'm looking at the places I eat. I'm looking at the foods that I like. And I really got to start wondering. I'm thinking about the schools that my kids go to. I'm thinking about the colleges and the universities, the land grant places. Are they pro or con reparations? And this is a straight up question. Are you pro-life? Motherfucker could answer that. And even if they're not, they give money to pro-life. They give money to pro-choice. We have a legitimate call, family. I want y'all to think about this. We have a legitimate call. We have a legitimate identifying card. And we have a legitimate tool that can be used to identify our teammates, our allies. Are you pro or are you con reparations for descendants, for DOS? Very simple. Very simple. And it clarifies your vision, because now I could direct where I spend my money. I could direct where I spend my time. I could direct who I chill with. I could direct what I write about. You know what I'm saying? Because you look, you know what I'm saying? What is the con to this? Because we just got done talking about polarity. The polarity is those that are anti that. Now, at some point in time, pro and con got to meet, and in that space, something will be created. But until we step up and make that space have to happen by saying, look, I'm pro. God damn it, this is where I'm at. See, because what I want you to understand, and this right here, This right here, right, could could actually change certain conversations that are going on. This will change how we deal with politicians. This will change how we deal with businesses. This will change how we deal with investments in our community. This will change everything just by us pro or con reparations. Very simple, very straightforward. I'm sitting out here like, God damn. I mean, it's that simple. It's that simple. Are you pro or con? Well, and if they don't want to discuss it, they're con. Get the fuck up out of here, right? We don't even need to have a discussion. We don't even need to talk. Why? Because you just wasting time. You trying to satisfy everybody. Now we those of you that's been with me on this journey, we done covered over 10 proverbs that tell us that somebody that's in the middle, somebody who can't make up their mind, is a waste of your time and a waste of your effort. Somebody in the middle. Even in the Bible, they talk about some being lukewarm and shit. You for or against? Very simple question. Very simple question. And everybody could take a stance on it. I ain't saying that you got to only have friends that's pro. But what I'm saying is it allows you to create a space around you that wasn't there before. See, because at one point in time, the space that we created was, we're just black. We're all the same because we're black. No. I need to know. I have to know. After the day, I have to know. Are you pro or con? Pro or con what, brother Tim? Are you pro or con reparations? And if so, please, tell me why. You know what I'm saying? Please, because I need to know that you thought about this. I need to know that you thought about this. We need to start making sure that people have the thoughts that we need them to be thinking about on their hearts and on their minds. So many times we're running into people that don't even look at our concerns or take our concerns seriously at all. And it's okay. And we have to be, no, that shit's not okay. You haven't even thought about our plight, right? For us to ask the government to what about the new immigrants? Fuck the new immigrants. Excuse my language. Better yet, don't excuse my language. Don't excuse me. Let me be clear about why I say it like that, right? Because we are the only non-immigrants in this country. Only non-immigrants. And we're allowing ourselves to be grouped with everybody else. We have a very unique situation, and we're allowing this unique situation to be washed away in history. And right now, what's about to happen, because I'm trying to let y'all know what's happening. I already posted on my timeline. We are going to be flooded this summer with pimp and dope dealing TV shows and movies. Everybody gonna be screaming the black conscious thing. I'm a black man. What else am I supposed to do? And they gonna come up with all types of argument to justify the fuckery. And we got to be clear on that shit. Hold on. Was that movie? In that movie, did they even mention reparations? On TV shows, are they mentioning reparations? On these black shows, are they mentioning reparations? We need to make sure that this is on everybody's tongue that's in our circle, and we need to spread it like that. Spread it like wildfire. You know what I'm saying? This need to be on the agenda for 2020, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? You want our vote? This need to be on the agenda. You want to be mayor of the cities that we are in? This need to be on the agenda. This need to be a talking point. You know what I'm saying? How are you going to deal with the issues of reparations? How are you going to deal with a whole piece of your constituency that are descendants of those who were forced over here? How are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? Are you going to address it? Or are you going to ignore it like people have been doing for so long? Are you just going to laugh it off? Are you going to just look at it and be like, oh, that's ridiculous, Mr. Brother Hot Tim. That's ridiculous. Fuck that. See, because what I'm saying is, family, right now, with the social media piece, we have access to the ears and the eyes of the people. And every day, my phone book is growing every day. Every day we got new people that's listening. Every day we got people sending in their ancestors. Every day. And I'm like, family, we need to take advantage of this. And all I'm saying is, family, those of us that's going to be writing, because one of the things CeeLo brought up when she said, when I'm writing, I want to make sure people know how to. And one of the things that I want to make sure people understand also is, boom, like for example, the Western. What was this? How do, far as the Nguzo Saba, how do they stand up in the principles? Far as how they dealt with us as a people, how they deal with us as a people? Are they donating money to institutions that we? Matter of fact, how's the NAACP lining up with that shit? Pro reparations, uh, anti reparations. What are they? You know what I'm saying? Neutral? No, no, no. Hold on. Ain't no neutrality in this shit. Can't be neutral. Can't be neutral. You know what I'm saying? Either you got to make us uncomfortable or you got to make the others uncomfortable. Somebody gonna be uncomfortable, and let me tell you something now, right? Because um, uh, this is one of my drinks, even though I shouldn't be drinking this. I shouldn't be drinking this, right? I'm on my fast, but I'm gonna drink this, right? This is a soda, right? And one of the things I learned from the book, um, Skin in the Game, right? I want y'all to think about this. Have you noticed that when you go get a soda, right, you don't never have to check and see whether or not it's kosher or not? And I know some of you conspiracy people gonna be like, yeah, that's because the Jews own it. No, 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 no. No, they have an outspoken minority. They're an outspoken minority, and it's easier to cater to the outspoken minority because um, you will drink the pop. A lot of you will drink the pop whether it's kosher or not. You don't even care whether it's kosher or not. You just want that cool, refreshing drink. You don't care. You don't care. So, in order to expand my customer base, what I need to do is to cater to the badgering and to the vocal minority. We have not been able to be a vocal minority in this country because we have not been able to line up under one thing. We've been coming up under so many different things. I'm just saying, right? Racism. We all got different views of racism. People can explain away racism. They got different studies on racism. You know, now it's not racism, it's white supremacy. Now it's not white supremacy, it's white inferiority. It's all about it. You know? Now the question is, how do you stand on reparation? And as a small minority, as an outspoken minority, we get people to start addressing our issues. It's the small minorities that run shit. The small, strong minorities that get the change. It ain't the large groups. It ain't the large groups because large groups gonna do what they do. It's the small vocal minority. Those of you that got jobs, those of you that work with people, you understand the whole concept of the 80-20 rule. It's going to be 20% of your people, a small minority, that's going to use up 80% of the resources. Whether they good people or bad people, whether they good customers or bad customers. It's 20% that get all of the attention. It's 20% that makes the ball roll. It's 20% that keeps you employed. And I'm just saying, family, it's time for us to become that vocal minority. We have the access, we got the skills, we got the writers, we got the people around us to become the vocal minority, talking about reparations, looking at the history of the Western, looking at the history of the Holiday Inn, looking at the history of Nike, looking at the history of all these places, and see how they line up in history with our oppression, and also to see how they stand right now with us receiving reparations, since all of them benefit off of us so royally. You know, they should be, I mean, shit. Nike and Western should be happy that we're talking about reparations because that means that more of us get to stay in their hotel. More of us gonna have access to expendable cash. You would think that, right? It's capitalism, right? It's gonna have money flowing in the system, right? But no. I can't wait. But family, I hope y'all get what I'm trying to say. If you don't, we could talk about it a little bit further because I'm hitting on this shit. And we're gonna be talking about this up at the camp, with the adults at least, after I get done training with it, because I want to. We really have to really start looking at this. and really start finding out what people are lying at in our life. Really. Really. All right. So, family, first off, getting on into the creator by whatever name you choose to call it creator. We're going to do our. Oh, God damn it. I got to talk a little bit longer. I got to, I didn't turn on the water for my toast. So, I'm going to finish my water. Make sure you finish your water, family. Remember, those of you that are out there that's new to the game, listen to me. There are only 5 things that you need to stay healthy. What is that? You need proper air, proper breathing. That's why we start our song off with, but first, take your breath and drink your water. The next one is drinking water. Make sure you're drinking your adequate amount of water every day. Make sure you're drinking it from a healthy source, right? Right? I choose spring water, right? I choose spring or aquifer water, right? And sometimes I do distill, right? So make sure you got fresh, good water. Next is eating a culturally appropriate diet. Eating a culturally appropriate diet. My fault is four. It's 4 pillars. Culturally appropriate diet, and last but not least, proper movement. Culturally appropriate movements. Breathing, water, proper food, culturally appropriate food. Culturally appropriate, right? Culturally appropriate, and last but not least, that movement, right? The 5 parts of the being that we work on Gye-Nyame and working and getting together. And in our news magazine, we want to talk to you about how real steps that you can use to align these so that we could get focused, punch. Punch those oppressing us in the eye, right? Intuition, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. The one that need the most work at this point in time is the emotions. And that's why we get the finger, right? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Why we get the finger, right? Because our emotions is messed up. We walk around with broken emotions. We don't even know why, right? But now we got a way to focus these emotions, right? Pro or con? You pro or con? Pro or con? Reparate. I'm about to write I'm write the whole shit up, family. So our tea is almost done. Once again, I'm coming with the chamomile tea. This is a little bit too much water. This is about 50 fluid ounces. I usually start off the day with about 32, so I'm trying to get my 32. So, man, so now for those that don't know, we got a camping trip coming up. Also, Miss CeeLo, like I said, I asked for reticular formation. Miss CeeLo got busy. I said, listen, we need help finding a 15-passenger van. Miss CeeLo not only found a 15-passenger van, but she found a government auction. So Lord knows what we could find. Like I said, we only a couple of hundred books away from getting the van. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we gonna get the dough, but we gonna get the van because we need to make sure that we got transportation to get some of these young people as well as some of these adults to some of these meetings now. This is about to get serious, family. It's about to get serious, and especially because I want y'all to think about this, especially when we are able, especially when we are able to focus, focus our efforts, focus our thoughts. Because when we say pro or con reparations, and we are able to identify where people are, we know who to deal with, we know how to deal with them. We know how to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, once we start identifying those companies that are not pro reparations, right? They ain't fucking with them no more. I'm not fucking with them no more because they're happy. They're satisfied with your children's oppression. They're satisfied with your children's poverty. They're satisfied with the prison, with the school to prison pipe. They're satisfied with all this shit. Satisfied. I ain't saying boycott. I'm just saying boom, all right, boom, all right. Deer Park. We found out Deer Park, boom, was a brand. Did boom, boom, boom. Then after several letters to the owners of the company, they ignored our request for them to let us know how they feel about reparations. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand as a business, because as a business, a lot of businesses can't take a necessary stand. But they do donate, because when it comes to pro-life, right, or pro-choice, you got these political parties, and candidates are able to run up under these and get money from both. I might, I gotta give a little to the pro here, give a little bit here. You got Democrats, you got Republicans, right? All, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, right? So, if they could do it for other shit, they could do it for our shit. They have no choice. God damn it, because we are consumers in this society, right? Unless we allow them to ignore us. And those of us in Gye-Nyame, we ain't allowing that shit no more. Because remember, family, it is a small minority, an outspoken, vocal minority. It's the squeaking wheel that gets the oil. And because we the whole goddamn wagon, we about to become the wheel on the wagon of black folks. We about to become the squeaking wheel. And watch what happens when we start squeaking. We start asking the questions, and we eventually start affecting some of the young people. And the young people start asking these questions when these politicians come up there and start talking. I want y'all to really watch what starts to happen when your child is able to go to school and ask their teacher one day and say, "Hey, my dad, my dad is pro reparations. Um, um, Miss such and such or Mr. Such, are you pro reparations?" Yes, yes, I will. I'm going. Right now, right now, I'm sending out texts to let people know. As soon as I get the time, I will text you the time. I will have somebody call you, and I apologize that you got to ask that right here, right now. I really do. I really do. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's my fault, right? That's my fault, right? But hey, shouts out to Miss Navita Nelson. I see you out there. I see you out there. So, Miss Navita, basically what I'm breaking down is part of the platform. The question is, are you pro or con reparations? Right? And I said this gave me a clear vision last night, because this allows us to identify our friends. This allows us to identify our foes. This allows us to know how to work with people, right? Just by how they respond to this. You missed it. You missed the information. It's okay. I was late to the meeting last week. Oh, don't worry about that. I got you. That's still my fault. You should have had the information. You should have had the information. Period. Period. It's my fault. I'm in DC. I'm up here. I'm up here doing a show, right? I'm supposed to have information so I can disseminate that to you, right? I'm the source. I don't have it right now. I apologize. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna re-up. I'm going to my suppliers. I'm gonna find out what you need to know. I'm gonna make sure you get it. You understand? So let's get this toast popping. So the question is, and the question that's gonna be on the mind and mouth of all those that are Gye-Nyame, from here on out until we come up with another one. Are you pro or are you con reparations? You understand? Pro or con reparations? Oh, look at that. And now somebody gonna be out to see. You Illuminati. Fuck Illuminati. I ain't fucking listen. The day the Illuminati start letting black folks in, they ain't even Illuminati no more. I'm just letting you know. They lose it. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? They lose it. The day, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. That's just me. That's just me. I'm not a conspiracy buff. I'm not on all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I just like the okay sign. I've been doing that shit since I was little. I'm sorry I did it on the show, because now I'm going to have to hear that shit. But here we go. Family, first, giving honor to the creator by whatever name you choose to call our ancestors. Whatever name you choose to call the creator, we call on that first source, and we say, Ashe. From there, family, move to the stars of the show. Without any further ado, we call on our personal ancestors upon whose shoulders we stand. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert Texana Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilly, George and William Walton, Chris and Fatty Gaston, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend. Miss CeeLo, I'm going to be texting you a number. So you better call and find out exactly what time the group will be leaving from the school, and I'm going to meet you up there tomorrow morning. Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Elvira Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Toppin, John Falar, Montague Pittman L, Nomo X, Pat Meyer, Rob, Malika Pakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Coach Kamal, Elder Farmer, Ellie Miller Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Dergale, Pulling the Luxor brother, Miss Edith Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rendelman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kelly D. Russell, Susan B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Augusta Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Douglas Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Edgar Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kendi, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, Essie Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amitep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Delma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frank and Russell Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Pina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy. DeFridas Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratley, Calvin Spratley, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., William Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Catton, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Peanut Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christine Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensenbaugh, Hazel Gatson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy, Stacey Trotch, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irving, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Boots Jefferson, Dan Wilkerson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Dorr, Mina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Roy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Haley Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Hare, Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron, Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Sanders. Ooh, I just thought about something. Ooh. Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott. I just, ooh, man. And Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Frances, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nana Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlington Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Stanton, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Bet Vaughn, John Dewey, and Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Remy Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Battles. We lift up our ancestors. We remember all of them. We let them loose once again. We're going to see what they bring back, ancestors. We salute you. Remember you. We stand upon your shoulders and we say Ashe. From there, we move on to the present moment. Family, activate those reticular formations. We are looking for collective work of responsibility. It is Ujima, and we are looking for Ujima today. We on a hunt for it. Let's find it. We lift up our glass. We say Ashe. We toast our future generations. We toast our children, our children's children, on to infinity. Right? Because we are responsible for the next 7 generations. We are responsible for laying the foundation so that they can stand on. We are responsible for making sure they have a clear agenda that they could work with. Man, we lift up our glass and we say Ashe. From there, family, we move on to all of our relations. And we toast and we say Ashe. Today, one of our sisters go into surgery. We want to keep her in mind as we pour this personal libation. You know what I'm saying? This selfish libation. We pour for ourselves. We ask the Creator and ancestors to move on our behalf in our individual lives, in our individual health, in our individual wealth building, in our individual political aims. You know what I'm saying? We lift up our glass and we ask our ancestors to be active. You know what I'm saying? We ask our ancestors to bless, guide, and touch us. We ask the ancestors to make themselves present within our lives. You know what I'm saying? We ask the ancestors to continue sharing wisdom with us and sharing insight with us. And we lift up that glass and we toast for this selfish libation. And we say, Ashe. From there, family, where we go? Where we going? We're moving to the most powerful thing in the room. Man, I love doing it. I know y'all don't be shy now. Don't be shy now. I'm lifting up the glass and I'm saluting you. Toasting you. Toast you for taking the time, especially you daily toasters that's getting up here and getting it. Getting out here and getting it. Right? So we lift up the glass and we say Ashe. We say Ashe. 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 I wish you peace, power, joy in 100 years, family, which is your original state. And we say peace. All right, family, I'm about to go on. I got to get packed up. I will be flying out tonight, but I got to check out the room. Y'all know how it goes down, right? And I will be putting up. I'm really pushing this pro con shit right now, family. I'm on it. I need to see. I need to see where my inner circle line. I need to see where my tribe land. I need to see where those that's on Gye-Nyame Journey timeline is. You know what I'm saying? I'm really interested to see where everybody fits. This allows you to see the world in a simple way. Now I see why we have conservatives and, you know what I'm saying, or the left and the right. I see why they break up into these groups, because it makes it very clear. It makes it clear for where you stand. And it's easier to stand when you know what you're standing for. I already know you pro Christine. Shit, I already know that. I already know that. I see how you move. Hell, I see how you talk. I mean, I'm just saying, but it's going down. Here we go. This chamomile, God damn. I'm sorry, family. All right. YouTube, I'm out.